10 spot is Blue Beetle Ambush Bug. Flashpoint brought us a version of Blue Beetle who joined a resistance fighter team called the Ambush Bugs. Their purpose was to fend off the Amazons from taking over England. He joined the Ambush Bugs on a mission into an Amazon-controlled weapons facility, but sadly he never made the journey out. You could say the bugs got real squashed that day. Coming in at number 9 we have Earth 1 TERRA. TERRA was one of the founding members of the Teen Titans in the graphic novel of Earth 1. She was also in a relationship with the other founder, Cyborg. She's just beginning to understand her Earth manipulating powers and Faces was not always thrilled to be receiving all the cuddly attention. But he shouldn't be talking, he does the exact same thing to TERRA. At least he's not throwing any rocks. In the number 3 spot we have Dark Raven. The girl with the famous daddy issues has constantly been at war from her dark parentage, and here she is embracing it. Dark Raven of the Titans Tomorrow storyline is also referred to as Wicked Witch of the West, because she relishes in the fear that has spread across America, all the while absorbing the civilians' emotions so they will not rebel against their less than heroic team of heroes. That would be useful in breakups, not so much in trying to maintain your human dignity. Coming in at number 2 is Kingdom Come Starfire. Though Starfire played a really small role herself in Kingdom Come, she was responsible for a much bigger player, literally. Here she accomplished what everyone has been hoping for, she settled down and had a kid with Dick Grayson. But because we're not allowed to be happy, she actually passes away quite early. Her daughter Marie picks up the heroic pieces and becomes a crime fighter herself, amalgamating her parents' name into her own, Nightstar. Your kids will probably never be as cool as that. And finally, in the number 1 spot we got Changeling. During the Flashpoint event, a more feral Garfield Logan went by the name of Changeling instead of Beast Boy, a name he has shifted through periodically. Here he was held by a guerrilla army led by, you probably guessed it, good old Gorilla Grodd, who uses Changeling's animal shifting abilities in his army in Africa. Changeling finally caught a break in the form of Tracy 13, who liberated him from his captors and gave him an opportunity for revenge. He morphed into a fly, flew into a gorilla's mouth, and morphs back, ripping the gorilla's head off. Guaranteed that was not a tasty snack no matter the protein content. In the number 10 spot we have Tiny Titans Jericho. Opening up the list here with the adorable and cuddly little curly-haired toddler Jericho from the Tiny Titans comic series. This version of Jericho is much more lighthearted than most of his counterparts, understandably so, and he loves to play pranks on his friends and Daddy Deathstroke by using his powers to possess people, because possession is super funny and not frightening at all. Coming in at number 9 is Titans East Bumblebee. In the Titans Tomorrow storyline, there exists a version of Bumblebee who belongs to Cyborg's Titans East. Not only is she a member, but she's actually co-leaders with Cyborg, so it's nice to see her in the leadership position. Together she and Cyborg led this team separately from the Titans of Tomorrow, and to top it off, she is not stuck at 6 inches, another change I'm sure she welcomes with open arms. Open wings. Next at number 8 we have Titans Go Cassie Sandsmark. The comic, not the show, relax. Cassandra from the world of the Teen Titans Go comics was the head of her high school's Wonder Woman fan club, and had an obsession that led her to gaining powers through stealing artifacts from her archaeologist mom. After this, she got the brilliant idea to challenge Donna Troy, but ended up saving her from the villain Trident instead. So she was then offered a place in the Titans Training Academy, of course after her mom punished her for stealing. In the number 7 spot is Injustice Aqualad. This version of Jackson Hyde from the Injustice comics was Batman's ambassador of the seas after the downfall of Superman's regime. However, it turns out his true allegiance lies with Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins, and after Blue Beetle accidentally destroys some of the endangered species of Raz's reserve, he goes ham and calls forth a tsunami to destroy Washington DC, a little angrier than I remember Aqualad being. Coming in at number 6 is DC Bombshells Raven. This version, Rachel Roth, was born of a German mother and a mountain spirit father. However that works, I'm not sure I want to know. She was raised in a small Alps village and taught by her grandfather how to harness her powers. One day, Joker's daughter caught wind of this power being in existence and attacked the village with Killer Frost. She took Rachel for herself and then used her as a pawn for the Nazis. With great power comes great exploitation. Next up at number 5 is Menagerie. Menagerie was the version of Beast Boy that was featured in the world of Kingdom Come. He was recruited by Batman when Superman pulled the Justice League back together with some less than desirable results. Unlike his counterparts, Menagerie can only transform into mythical creatures, the reason for which is not given, but we don't really care because it's unique and pretty cool. Up next at number 4 we got Injustice Cyborg. Actually, Injustice gave us a lot of versions of heroes with spins that were different but enjoyable. Here, Cyborg was a member of Superman's regime, joining after being informed that Superman's parents had been kidnapped. He becomes Superman's eyes and ears for behavior that disrupts the forced peace. Eventually, he becomes privileged to knowledge of unlawful killing Superman has done of defenseless protesters, a pretty big secret that's gonna get you in some kind of trouble. In the number 3 spot is Batman of Titans Tomorrow. The Titans Tomorrow storyline introduced us to a group of Teen Titans who were no longer teens, but rather themselves in the future as a group rebranded the Titans. And these Titans have let their powers get the best of them. Here, Tim Drake has become Batman and is the leader of the group, and he has killed lots of people actually, as he reveals to the Tim Drake of the original Teen Titans with the gun that killed his parents. Something doesn't sit right about that. Coming in at number 2, we have New Order Nightwing. In his own miniseries, Nightwing has become a leader in a crusade against superpowers and weapons in an attempt to clean up the world and rid it of danger. Sounds more like fascism to me. Of course, the tables turn when he ends up needing help from the very people that he is hunting. This series is brand new, and who knows, in the right hands it could end up as perfect movie material. And finally, in the number 1 spot is Flashpoint Starfire. Starfire of the Flashpoint timeline was a member of Wonder Woman's female Furies. In the quest for the Helmet of Faith, Starfire was tasked with burning down a city in Poland. A circus performer of the city, hello Dick Grayson, was able to put an end to the attack by setting a gasoline trap that ignited under Starfire's attack, effectively killing her. Yes, we can't say we ship these two characters in this story arc. Fun fact, this Dick goes on to become not Nightwing, but Dr. Fate. In the number 10 spot, we have Teen Titans Go. The team from Teen Titans Go opens up our list today because they are definitely a notable version of the team, but they rank low because not everyone is crazy about the show. This version of the team is lighthearted and takes a view into the everyday lives of the heroes when the capes come off. So whether they're navigating teenhood or fighting crime, there are comedic aspects thrown in that some people found over the top. Give this team a try and you be the judge. Coming in at number 9 is Titans West. Teen Titans number 50 introduced us to a version of the Titans called Teen Titans West. The team was formed by the telepathic Lilith Clay and included Hawk and Dove, Golden Eagle, Flamebird, and even Beast Boy from the Teen Titans. Lilith had pulled the team together to fight off the villainous Mr. Esper, and once he was defeated she kinda said, okay, I'm out. So Hawk took over leadership. Needless to say, he was a pretty bad leader and the group shortly disbanded after. Next at number 8 we got Titans East. Because if we have the west side, we gotta have the east side. We're actually talking about Titans East team from New Earth's Titans, because these are the fun guys who took the Titans to a dark side. They were put together by Deathstroke as a means to defeat the Titans and get revenge on them stealing his kids, Jericho and Ravager. Some members included Bombshell, Kid Crusader, and even Batgirl, who Deathstroke kept drugged for his purposes. In the number 7 spot is Teen Tyrants. The Teen Tyrants of Teen Titans Go number 48 were another evil counterpart of the Titans, because I love my good guys gone bad. They have basically overrun their version of Jump City and are cruel and sadistic, much unlike the original Teen Titans. Members include evil counterparts such as Red Robin, Red Raven, Tempest, Arsenal, and Blackfire. No evil Cyborg or Beast Boy are present, but we're sure they're out there. Coming in at number 6 is Smallville Titans. The Smallville Special Titans featured a clan of youth who attended Jay Garrick's school for gifted youngsters. Members included Speedy, Superboy, the Wonder Twins, and Miss Martian, to name a few. The purpose of the school, funded by the Titan Corporation, is to train the next generation of superheroes, as the Justice Society of America felt this was their responsibility as they retired. This team was never specifically referred to as Teen Titans, but they were called a team of Titans by Superman, and the logo they use is the same as the Titans themselves. Next up at number 5 is Say No to Drugs Titans. This is just a fun one thrown in for your entertainment. While not technically an alternate version of the team, in 1983 the Teen Titans were featured in a Keebler commercial campaigning against drug use. The PSA was supposed to coincide with the release of a Hanna-Barbera animated series, but the show never got released. They do have one thing down: it's pretty hard to be a superhero if you're drugged out. Up next at number 4 we got Justice League vs Teen Titans. Justice League vs Teen Titans was a straight-to-video movie DC put out in 2016, so it's pretty recent and not too many people have given it a chance. Usually direct-to-video is synonymous with crappy, but such is not the case here. In this version, Damian Wayne as Robin is sent to work with the Titans to learn about teamwork after he messes up with the Justice League, and then the Titans have to face a Trigon-possessed Justice League. The movie is not a bad watch itself, so if you're hungry for a little more Teen Titan action, check it out. In the number 3 spot we have Titans Tomorrow. The Teen Titans are given a glimpse of their possible future selves in the Titans Tomorrow storyline, and what they see isn't exactly pretty. The future selves have grown up and become a merciless group called the Titans, who have adopted a more violent and pretty fascist way of fighting crime. Seeing this causes the current Teen Titans to disband and swear that they would not become this future. Little did they know that their disbanding is what caused this mess to begin with. Coming in at number 2 is Titans 2018. But it's not 2018 yet, Roya. The hell are you talking about? about? Well, here's something to get excited about. Other than that Teen Titans Go movie that was just announced, I don't really have high hopes for that. But a live action Titans TV series has been announced for 2018 and has been promised to be very true to source material. Talents in this team will include Tegan Croft as Raven, Anna Diop as Starfire, and Brenton Thwaites as Dick Grayson. So I know darn well you guys are gonna mark your calendars for this version of the team. And finally, in the #1 spot, we got Teen Titans from the animated series. Of course, the team from the show that made these guys so popular to begin with. Teen Titans the animated series centered around the 5 main team members: Robin, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, living their lives in the Titans Tower. The series was so popular it was named IGN's 83rd Best Animated Series in 2009, and for anyone wondering why there are so many people in the comments section wanting Starfire this, Raven that, Cyborg this show is most likely why.
Number 10. Dick Grayson and Starfire nearly got married in New Titans number 100 in 1984, but their wedding was disrupted by Evil Raven, who murdered the priest before he could pronounce them man and wife. However, their relationship was already having problems before that, so it's probably for the best, but not for the priest. Number 9. The Titans got political in the late 60s and early 70s, with storylines that dealt with inner-city racial tension and anti-Vietnam protests. An arc beginning in issue 25 even saw the Titans giving up their superhero identities after the death of a peace activist, although this was a brief change. Speaking of identity changes brings us to number 8. It is during his time on the Teen Titans, specifically during the 80s run, that Dick Grayson transitions from being Robin into Nightwing. This marks a rare and key moment of a character actually progressing and aging in comics that has remained pretty consistent. Dick Grayson isn't going back to being Robin anytime soon. Number 7. Deathstroke's second son Jericho is a prominent member of the Teen Titans during the 80s, and the first character artist George Perez claims he created on his own. Jericho is unique in that while he is mute, he is also not given thought bubbles either, so his emotions and thoughts had to be conveyed entirely through the art. Some cross signals in at number 6. During the New 52 relaunch, the original Titans were retconned out of ever having been Titans, and were instead replaced with a new lineup featuring Red Robin, the new Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, Bart Allen, Solstice, Superboy, Bunker, and Skitter. However, memos were not always in the best of circulation during the initial launch, so in some other comics, such as Red Hood and the Outlaws, the original team is mentioned, which is both confusing and amusing. More changes at number 5. Following the 90s Titans, an updated comic series of the team was introduced at the same time as the TV show in 2003. This run was helmed by Jeff Johns, which saw the disbanding of the 90s Titans roster and the Young Justice roster, instead creating 2 new teams, a new Teen Titans rather than Titans, and the Outsiders. These Teen Titans were Robin, Tim Drake, Wonder Girl, Cassandra Sandsmark, Impulse, Starfire, Cyborg, and Changeling as the veterans. While people were interested in this series, it garnered criticism due to the intense personality shifts of the characters from their Young Justice iteration to their Teen Titans one. Still, it's worth a read and it's all been collected, so if you're interested, check it out. Speaking of secret identities brings us to number 4. Wonder Girl didn't get a proper secret identity until 1969, when she took on a new costume, that being the red jumpsuit with yellow stars and belt combo. Until that point, her teammates had called her a myriad of nicknames such as Wonder Chick or later Wonder Babe. However, along with this new costume, Wonder Girl adopts the secret identity of Donna Troy. Confused identities brings us to number 3. During the 2003 series, there was some confusion for some reason as to whether the Robin in question was Dick Grayson or potentially Tim Drake. However, there are numerous hints in the show that it is Dick. Key being when Slade tries to recruit him and he says, "I already have a father," and bats fly overhead. He also has memories of 2 acrobats falling from a trapeze, which is how Dick's parents died. Tim's died too, but separately and after he had become Robin. The creator has never confirmed which it is, since he says he doesn't feel it's important.
This is what I look like without my mask.
I think it's quite obviously Dick Grayson, but what do you guys think? Number 2. The Teen Titans has many fan favorite relationships. Starfire and Nightwing, Beast Boy and Raven, but one people like to forget is TERRA and Deathstroke. While the two were working together during the Judas contract arc, they were also sleeping together, and TERRA was fully a teen at the time. 15 to be exact. Yeah, there's a reason we don't adapt that part anymore. Let's move back into less creepy territory for number 1. In the Teen Titans series that ran from 2003 to 2006, fans noted that the characters did not have secret identities, and were instead constantly in their superhero personas. This was a deliberate choice on the part of the series creator Glenn Murakami, who stated he felt little kids wouldn't be able to identify with the secret identity element since they couldn't project themselves onto the characters as well. He stated he wanted to break the characters down into archetypes. Oh, there's the robot guy. There's the alien girl. There's the witch girl. There's the shape-changing boy. We just wanted it really clean like that. We wanted it like old Star Trek. We just wanted it simple. Well, it seemed to work because fans old and young loved the Titans, with or without secret identities. This is kind of broken in season 5 though, for all you nitpickers out there.
We're all very proud of you, Garfield.
Number 10. The Teen Titans first appeared in The Brave and the Bold number 54 in 1964. The Brave and the Bold was a popular team-up comic that allowed for a wide variety of heroes who may not normally interact to have adventures together. The 3 founding members for this team-up were Kid Flash, Wally West, Robin, Dick Grayson, and Aqualad, Garth, though they were quickly joined by Donna Troy as Wonder Girl in The Brave and the Bold number 60. Number 9. The series really took off in terms of popularity during the 80s. During this time, the comic run was helmed by Marv Wolfman with art by George Perez. This run introduced the lineup most are now familiar with: Robin, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, Cyborg, Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy. This series also introduced many of the now recognized arcs such as TERRA, Deathstroke's obsession with Robin / Nightwing, the Starfire Robin romance, and much more. Speaking of legacy brings us to number 8. At the time of this recording, there is an upcoming DC animated film called Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. This is slated for release on April 18th of 2017. The original Judas Contract ran during the 80s run and introduced TERRA in a story so popular it won the Comic Buyer's Guide Fan Award for Favorite Comic Book Story of 1984. Certain stories stand the test of time, and the Judas Contract is definitely one of them. A perplexing happening in at number 7. For some reason, the iteration of the team called the Titans, which ran in the latter half of the 90s, has never been properly collected or republished into trades or omnibus format at the time of this recording at least. Which is a real shame because it had some good arcs. Hopefully that will change. I'll keep on dreaming. Back in time at number 6. The original premise of the team was to have them help out other teens with their problems. This was an attempt to encourage young readership and be relatable. This led to the series author having to endure some teasing from other writers on the staff who referred to the team as the Cool Quartet or Fab Foursome, as they tried to appeal to teens by having cultural references like to the Beatles and Bob Dylan. Stuff like that rarely ages well. What's funny is that the 80s version took the same approach but made it about youth issues, about trying to assume one's own identity and grow up. This went over much better and also aged better than the first attempts in the 60s. Number 5. There is a war between fans of the original Teen Titans cartoon, which ran from 2003 to 2006, and the reboot Teen Titans Go, which began in 2013 and is ongoing at the time of this recording. The original Teen Titans was cancelled, and while fans tried to support the show, it was too late. Will Wheaton, who voiced Aqualad, claimed that the show was cancelled because the network did not like the pitch for season 6. However, the story editor for the series said that there were never plans for a season 6. Regardless, the show ended abruptly and fans were saddened. When Teen Titans Go was announced, some of the original fans were disappointed with the more kiddish tone and parody aspect that many felt ruined the original characters. It didn't help that the show is so self-aware that it often mocks these concepts and the fans who feel them a lot. Honestly, unpopular opinion, I don't hate Teen Titans Go. There are actually some funny episodes if you give it a chance. I know, all cred out the window, right? But before that, let's examine number 4. The now extremely popular Teen Titans animated series from 2003 was initially poorly received, much in the same manner as Go. People felt that the Teen Titans was too silly for a follow-up to the critically acclaimed DCEU, that being the DC Animated Universe, which had spawned out of Batman the Animated Series. It took years for the show to gather a more positive reputation. Perceptions change over time. Some things that are flops become hits and vice versa, so it's always good to not be too militant about stuff like this. It's all good fun and for entertainment, guys. But that doesn't mean it can't also be significant, which brings us to number 3. The Teen Titans series that ran during the 70s introduced Bumblebee. She appeared as Karen Beecher in 1976 in Teen Titans number 45 and as Bumblebee in Teen Titans number 48. She is the distinction of being DC's first female African-American superhero. Something more controversial in at number 2. Issue number 1 of the New Teen Titans Volume 2 caused significant controversy when it was first released because it showed Dick Grayson and his his girlfriend Starfire in bed together, in sequences that at the time were deemed to be suggestive. This was the 80s, so somebody had better think of the children. Nowadays that kind of thing seems really tame based on what you'll see in comics. But back in the day, even further back than that, you wouldn't even show married couples in bed together because of the intimacy it implied. This actually caused couples in real life to start buying separate beds for a period of time. This was actually a point used in the book Seduction of the Innocent because it showed a scene of Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson in bed together. It's really nice that things have calmed down. And now for number 1, the introduction of Deathstroke. Deathstroke first appeared in the New Teen Titans Volume 1, number 2 in 1980. He first appeared after his son was contracted by Hive to take on the Teen Titans. A process was performed on him to make him more powerful, which ultimately killed him. This led Deathstroke to begin a vendetta against the Teen Titans to fulfill the contract taken on by his son, Ravager. He was first introduced as the Terminator. The character became one of the more popular additions, actually getting his own spin-off entitled Deathstroke the Terminator in 1991.